All right. It's time this week for the NFL draft. And, I mean, I know it's in Vegas, and we got the glamour and the glitz of the NFL draft, and there seems to be a lot of people traveling to Vegas. But is this going to be a bad rookie class, guys? What do you think?
I don't know. The Rams stole the draft.
What?
Like,
you have no picks.
I'll be honest.
He has no idea. Did you not watch the video I sent?
No.
It was a good video.
They had a high-budget trailer of a draft heist, and it was actually the Rams. Like Ocean's 11. They like made a trailer based off of that, and Cooper Kupp was in it. Aaron Donald was in it. They had Dennis Quaid. They had a bunch of actors who were in it.
Why did you send me this?
It was in Slack. It was amazing. It was like super Hollywood.
That's what they had to do because they don't have picks. They have to have the fans.
They got time. They
have time, but yeah,
it's
it's the Rams stealing the draft.
What are they going to do? Trade in?
It's Hollywood, man. When you're a champion, you can do whatever you want.
Nice.
You guys don't have a commercial. You guys have other issues. You guys are trying to figure out how you're going to keep your receiver.
Doesn't matter. You go. Peace. We don't
he can go. He can go now.
I do not co-sign this opinion.
So, So you think the Jets are going to be a player for Debo?
You know,
and do you
there's
think,
so many talking heads out there trying to get clicks, and there's some false reports. Debo's even.
That's what we're trying to do right now.
We are trying to do that.
Yeah, let's be honest.
We are, but speculation. You know what? Nobody in sports, nobody in football, since we're on football, is irreplaceable. Nobody.
So you posted this somewhere. It might have been on Facebook. You thinking 2 first-round picks?
It was actually a 10 and a 35, so it'd be a low.
Low
second.
or a high second.
A high second. Yeah, I got it mixed up there, but the Jets could
so
potentially
pretty much 2 first-rounders.
Yes, potentially.
They
call that the Godfather trade
for 1 year. 1 year of Deebo Samuel, and if he doesn't get extended, he may not even show up to the team he gets traded to.
I heard something hilarious today on Twitter, and it said, Deebo Samuel likes grapes a lot, and in order to get a lot of grapes, you got to fly to Asia, and in fly to Asia, you got to be on a jet, so he's going to the jet. So silly.
What are we doing?
Looking this draft, and I think everybody in media is trying to pull some type of story. The Deebo Samuel is like low-hanging fruit. It's the biggest name that is available. That
O.J. Simpson did a video about it today.
Yes.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah, that's when you know, because I live across the street from the stadium, and I follow a lot of Niner news, and most of it does not get this big. But when O.J. Simpson's at the golf cart talking about Deebo Samuel, you know the news is huge.
So, and the Niners could be making possibly 2 big trades. I think this draft we're going to see more trades for not draft picks as much as like current NFL rostered players than we've seen in a long time.
Which I think maybe says something about the draft class that we're dealing with.
I think the Niners have had a plan going into the draft. I think Jimmy Garoppolo gets traded during the draft. I think the Niners have already had a plan. I think they already have basically it set up to where he's going to go. I think he's going to be a second-day trade. I think it's probably going to be like a 3rd-round pick or something.
That's if he passes a physical, though. I don't know if you can trade him without passing a physical.
They'll make it happen. He's fine. But the only issue with Jimmy Garoppolo is that he has that no trade clause, so he's going to be able to decide where he goes.
So this is some projections of the top 5 ranked quarterbacks, I'm assuming. So we've got late firsts, 24, 26, and then you got, 48, 40, and 51. So we're saying that 5 quarterbacks are going to be projected. Obviously, things are going to change. But 5 quarterbacks taken in the first 2 rounds, it looks like.
So this is what so if you're watching the video, the overall prospect rankings, according to NFL.com's Daniel Jeremiah, you got Kenny Pickett, who is ranked 24, Malik Willis ranked at 26th, 48, Sam Howell, and then we got 51, Desmond Ridder, and then 40. I don't even remember all the names of these guys. Look, what I'm trying to say is it's not as strong at NFL
So
I'm glad you took the bullet because I would only name
the funny
one
thing
of them.
is you guys, when you guys get done, you guys got to see my vantage point of the screen. So I see a 48, 26, a 24, a 40, and a 5.
Oh,
And I'm all, who is this guy who's getting picked
No,
fifth
he's
overall?
51.
And then I literally do this, and I'm all, 51.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, so let's dissect these 5 because we know quarterbacks drive the football market when it comes to cards. Football quarterbacks. I mean, you'll have your Jamar Chases, you'll have your Deebo Samuels that'll have some value, but the ones that really skyrocket are your Mahomes and your Rodgers. So what teams need quarterbacks? We got the Falcons, right? You have the Seahawks, you have the Lions. What teams am I forgetting here?
I mean,
Steelers maybe?
You could say the Steelers. I know the Colts got Matt Ryan, but the Colts are probably going to need a quarterback of the future.
Yep.
How about the Seahawks? The Seahawks,
Seahawks
and where does Baker go? I mean, does
Draft day
Baker
trade?
does Baker get traded on
But see, but
on
we don't-
draft? I don't think he's a draft. I don't think he's draft day number 1 trade, but I think he might be.
But we don't
day
know
2,
if
day
Watson's.
3.
I think they might keep him because we don't know Watson could be suspended for the year.
I don't think the Browns make that trade if they're not sure that Watson
I don't
is
know.
playing.
I don't know.
I think Watson plays.
But I guess out of all those teams we mentioned, I know we don't like. I know it doesn't necessarily matter the team and the market, but I think it does.
You can't, and also you can't have Baker sit behind Watson. You can't. Baker was like the face and the future of the franchise, and you're gonna have him back up.
It's the Browns.
Deshaun Watson.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Deshaun Watson has 2 bad games, and the Browns fans are like, "Bring back Baker."
I know it's going to be crazy, but so the Steelers are probably the best place for a quarterback to go for the hobby.
Malik Willis has been the one connected to the Steelers the most. That's the one I've
At
seen
number
in
26 there?
Yeah, most of the mocks, Malik Willis is connected to the Steelers. Matt Corral of Ole Miss is the guy I had forgot to mention. Matt Corral, who by some accounts is the 3rd best quarterback in this draft. Some have him as the 4th best quarterback in this draft. But Ole Miss, he could be taken. I've been seeing some picks maybe in the final pick of the first round that the Detroit Lions may pick somebody like Matt Corral or Sam Howell. And then Desmond Ridder, I've seen even possibly Tennessee going after a guy because there's only one more year potentially of Ryan Tannehill with the Titans.
So what we have in this draft, and unlike even 2013 we had EJ Manuel and Geno Smith. All the mock drafts, they had them going in the first round.
Yes.
No doubt. And they were Geno probably more than EJ Manuel. Geno is wherever he went, he was probably going to start.
Yeah.
I look at these 5 quarterbacks, and I don't think there is any one of these quarterbacks that is starting week 1 for whatever team that drafts them.
Maybe Pickett.
I don't
Maybe
even if he goes to Carolina, I still think that Carolina will roll out with like a Sam Darnold. That is the scary thing and again, you're just talking about how quarterbacks really are kind of the end all be all that drive the hobby products up. This is the first year in 12 years since we've been doing this. There is not a quarterback that's going to get drafted in the first round that is a surefire starter for that team.
Yeah. But we've also had the most hype on the industry, so we haven't had a down year during this run that we're on, in a sense, with Fanatics buying everything and everybody and their mom knowing what card breaks are.
speculating and are you stockpiling 2022 football products?
I mean, I think well, sometimes it's better if they don't play. I mean, if the Steelers get somebody and he doesn't play, it might be better than him playing.
Than him going out and looking real bad. I get it.
Sometimes it's the whole, like, the guys in the minor leagues, like we were talking about Bowman in the earlier segment, like the Mike Zunino effect. His cards were crazy, and then he came up and he hit 250 and people didn't want him anymore. And it's like, it's better when he's not in the big leagues or he's not starting.
So the best case scenario for the hobby for 2022 rookie like football products is that, let's say 3 of these quarterbacks get taken in the first round. Could happen. We have projected there's 2, and they never play. And we go, there is the what if factor going into all football season next year, where we're chasing these players and their prices are doing well because the what if they start.
Yeah, but see, I think what people don't really realize with this hobby is there's still talent in the league. There's still Patrick Mahomes cards. There's still, but there's going to be Justin Herbert cards. There's going to be Joe Burrow. There is more young superstars.
But you're not going to get, those are going to be tough pulls.
They're still going to be in there, though. You're going to be breaking Prism. You pull a gold Joe Burrow, it's still going to be a big card. You're going to pull the gold Tom Brady's back for another season.
But and I'm playing devil's advocate right now, what drives every category, and it's the rookies.
Yes, but we haven't had a down season when there's been this many eyeballs in the league. So this will be in the hobby. We haven't had the 13. Nobody knew about cards, and we still made it through it. Now we're in a big bubble that doesn't seem to be bursting anytime soon. And yes, maybe the rookie class is subpar, and we don't know until these guys get drafted and they're on the field. But we have the most young stars we've ever had, and that's why there's not a lot of talent in the quarterback.
So I actually agree with it. I think the worst thing that can happen with this rookie class is 3 of these guys getting picked in the first round, and all of them play, and all of them perform poorly. That is probably the worst. That's probably the worst case scenario, right?
But you also have a star-studded wide receiver class.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think the saving grace here is that it's a good receiving class this year. A lot of talent. And we've seen the last couple of years, star receivers tend to do pretty well in their rookie year. Can't say anything maybe for after that, but we've seen Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase do really, really well in the hobby the last couple of years.
And we've seen, if you look at Micah Parsons' prices, we don't give a lot of love to the defense guys, but Micah Parsons, I guess, he is in the right scenario. He's on America's team, and he had a great season. But his prices are up there, so there is a chance that like an Aiden Hutchinson or there's a couple other guys. I think Aiden Hutchinson's not even predicted to go number 1 anymore. But there's guys like that may go to the right situation and get X amount of sacks or whatever, and then we may be going after them.
All right. Well, let's hope there's not.
I'm being glass half full.
Okay, and on draft day there could be, and we don't know, but there could be 5 offensive linemen taken in the first 10 picks.
The first day is just round 1, right?
That's right.
So this is the first year me and you won't be watching together.
Huh?
Finally, you never watched the first round. I've been watching the first round.
Whoa. Just because the Rams don't have picks doesn't mean I don't watch it.
Well, I mean, you watch it differently. I'm saying, I'm going to watch it too, but I'm not watching it.
Well, Niners fans are watching it for another reason.
Yeah, totally.
We're waiting for that little ticker to come up, and suddenly it says 49ers on the clock. But something just happened.
You know the year that we the COVID year where they had that was a fun year for the draft where they had the videos of people's houses and stuff.
Oh, and Goodell is just sitting on on his lazy boy.
That was
Bill Belichick's dog sitting at the computer. It was great.
And then what was it? CeeDee Lamb hitting his girlfriend's hand off the phone or something like that.
It was a strange time, weird times.
I mean, it doesn't match the Laramie Tunsil moment.
No, by the way, did you see he's minting that into an NFT?
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's happening because, of course, he is.
Is he going to release it on draft night?
I think he is, yes.
Well, was it? So that would be hilarious.
Kind of rules, yeah.
Well, and it seems like, and Doug and I have talked about this, it seems like the last 5 years there's always that story that gets dropped.
Wasn't there Shane Ray that like the day of the draft he got like a 50 pounds of weed on him or something like that?
Yeah.
And he was like projected to be a first rounder and then he got I don't know, something like that.
I mean, and last year was like the Mac Jones. It was no drama, but it was like the Mac Jones and Trey Lance stuff was the big drama leading up to the draft. It felt like don't really have anything like that. It's really like we said at the beginning of this.
Well, you had like the
field?
Josh Allen tweets from when he was 12.
Yes,
I was gonna say
that's right. Gosh, I forgot about that.
I'm wondering how if guys have learned to scrub their Twitter prior to
100%.
Just prior to this, or is there a way that maybe some guy took a picture of it and be like, "This kid's gonna be good," and he just said a bad word.
But now we're in the TikTok era, so like, it's not even Twitter anymore. Can you scrub your TikTok?
I think you can, but I don't know. I'm not on it.
You're not dancing?
No, I'm not dancing.
And who's the
not
guy? That's,
dancing on there at least.
so who's the guy that's coming out next year? It's Bryce.
Bryce Young, who won the Heisman. So I mean, things are going to turn around potentially, but we've seen plenty of Heisman winners who win it a year, who win it and then go play another year and things suddenly turn around. But I think that there's a lot more confidence going into next year. I do want to mention, I know we've been like kind of saying, hey, don't worry about it, but this is, yes, indeed. You mentioned it, 2013. This is the first draft where I was looking at basically the last 10 years of NFL.com prospect rankings going into the draft. First draft since 2013 where there is not a single quarterback in the top 20 prospects. Maybe the upside, I was looking at maybe a comparable year. 2017 could be a comparable year. The highest ranked prospect for QBs was Deshaun Kaiser at 18. And then you've got Trubisky, Deshaun Watson, and this guy named Patrick Mahomes.
Deshaun Kaiser?
Deshaun Kaiser. Remember him?
Yeah, he went to the Browns.
Notre Dame, right?
Yes, went to the Browns. The fact that he did not go number one among QBs.
No,
right? That's
I
bizarre. That he's ranked that
your
high.
list.
But you guys got all.
No, I know. I'm just saying. But
is that NFL.com?
That's NFL.com.
They don't know.
But that just tells you. If you are an optimist, you're thinking, oh well, they had Deshaun Kaiser ranked number one when literally two guys who were two of the top 10 were in that list.
And look at the 15 draft. Arguably could be compared to be worse than the 13 draft.
Yeah.
You got you got Winston and Mariota. What happened to them?
Okay, they're in the league.
They're in the league.
I mean,
but
they didn't
accomplish anything.
And Mariota is starting for the Falcons
for now.
And Winston is still on the Saints, right? And he had a good year.
Probably going to be the starter.
He had a good year if he didn't get hurt. I like both those guys. And first off, those aren't even the best quarterbacks in that draft. There's one, Sean Mannion.
All right.
I mean, out of the 15 draft, where was he ranked on NFL.com?
You're giving the people
One.
You're giving the listeners what they want, Dan. They want that. They
One.
want that, Dan.
One.
And it also really does magnify just how lucky we have been the last couple of years when it comes to QBs. I mean, like last year alone, 4 QBs ranked in the top 10, Fields, Lawrence, Wilson, Trey Lance. And then Mac Jones was 32, and he ends up being the best of those guys. And then in 2020, Burrow, Tagovailoa, Justin Herbert, all top 20 guys. So we've been – and Jalen Hurts was like number 50. Jordan Love was 23rd ranked. So we've been really, really lucky the last few years when it comes to QBs and for collectors. So, hey, whatever happens, happens.
I feel like the – pre-draft rankings on quarterbacks are truly like a crapshoot.
I mean, pre-draft rankings in general are really just the biggest crapshoot in all sports.
Yeah, I mean, go back and try to find like Myles Garrett was like a surefire number one, going to succeed, going to be a beast in the league. Ndamukong Suh back in what 2010. 2010. Him coming. Like, it seems like the quarterbacks, it's like prime example, Deshaun Kaiser. I mean, who would rank Deshaun Kaiser over Mahomes and Deshaun Watson now?
Maybe a Notre Dame fan. Possibly.
Hell, who would rank him over Mitch Trubisky now?
I know.
And he will probably be starting for the Steelers.
Possibly, unless they decide to take. I mean, that's another one where if the Steelers go with Malik Willis, then there's a chance that he ends up taking the starting job and maybe fighting for the starting job in Pittsburgh.
And what I was going to say is, Bowman, if all things come crashing down, Bowman University has Bryce in it.
Yeah,
autos of Bryce and Bowman University,
and you've still got the other guys in there, the draft.
We have the NIL. We could just be like, we'll skip right past all this stuff and just get into NIL stuff.
Except there's going to be like 35 releases that come out.
So right now, if you had to put a number, how many QBs of these 5 guys, how many QBs end up getting picked? Because the thing is, we always know, like I mentioned all these draft rankings, but QBs always get picked higher than what their draft rankings are or their prospect rankings are. So if you had to guess how many end up getting picked in the first round.
In the first round?
In the first round.
2.
1.
Pickett.
I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna say 4.
Cody Pickett.
Wow, you're saying 4?
Cody Pickett.
Cody Pickett.
I can't. I look at these hands. Does that look like
you? I mean, you could have gone. You could have gone 3.
4. I think
You
it's
could
going
have
to be
gone.
4.
Could have gone 0.
Could have gone 0. Maybe I'd have a better chance.
Who's number 40 there from Ole Miss? What's that guy?
That is Matt Corral, who is the 4th ranked guy.
Matt Castle.
Matt
looks
Castle.
looks like a football player. I like it.
Because I'm going to say the Steelers, the Panthers, the Lions, and the Colts are all going to pick a QB.
I mean, and are any one of these quarterbacks better than Jared Goff?
Not now. I don't know. Probably not.
Maybe
They're
never.
probably not.
Probably
gonna,
not now.
Yeah, probably never.
No.
I don't know.
I would hope at least
Jared
one
Goff
or two
has
of
the
them.
intangibles.
Oh God.
You don't have to defend
He's not.
him
He's
anymore.
he's just not an above
Actually,
the shoulders guy.
it's actually a knee-jerk reaction. I've been defending him so long that I'm like, I always got to defend Jared Goff.
This is how I feel with Alex Smith, so I guess I get it. Yeah.
Also tiny hands, right?
Yeah, possibly. Boy,
Yeah.
just even more reason why they shouldn't have drafted him.
He did have tiny hands. Yeah.
Tiny hands.
Tiny hands.
I mean,
Alex.
we'll see. Is the hand size for Pickett going to follow him around his whole career?
I just cannot wait for that first pick of him holding up the jersey, and everyone's just going to be laser focused on those hands. I'm like, that shoulder size. I know what the large jersey looks like. Those hands are a little small, buddy.
It's not going to be a cheeseburger.
Will not fit in his hands.
Man, I don't know how. I don't know. Nobody's done it. I don't get it.
Well, I'd like to know your guys' feelings on this and how many of these quarterbacks are going to be in the first round. I don't know if you'll get this video in time, but if so, how many quarterbacks do you think are going to go in the first round? Also, make sure you hit subscribe here and check out the breaks at mojobreak.com and check us out on Whatnot. And we are going to be giving away a case of Flawless Basketball. Stay tuned for that. So, a little teaser into next week. We're going to have some content based around a case of Flawless Basketball that somebody out there is going to win.